Yo, why you always arguing with me?
Yeah.
I've seen your comments and videos.
Me too.
If you don't believe in God, then why do you talk about him so much?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't believe in Santa Claus.
Nope.
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
Nuh-uh.
And you don't see me making videos about them.
Nada.
I don't believe in the Tooth Fairy, and you don't see me arguing about the Tooth Fairy all the time.
He doesn't believe in the Tooth Fairy.
You know what I bet it is?
Huh?
You hate God.
Yup.
You're mad at God.
Amen.
Did something bad happen to you?
Well,
Or maybe it's just because you know God's gonna judge you.
that is brilliant.
Atheists just hate God.
I want you inside me.
Yeah, here's the, the creator guy of, darkmatter2525 animation. The guy makes animations. Yeah, here he is. Walking by a rundown house, so meaningful. Okay.
As nature reclaims abandoned American homes, as our infrastructure crumbles and our science standards fall behind, 4,000 new.
Yeah, you can blame the government for all that shit. Shitty infrastructure, shitty education system. Yeah, you can blame the fucking government for that. What's the government? Okay, reason.com. Why is government run infrastructure so bad? Yeah. $76 billion. It's for a federal department, right? Yeah, government can't run shit, people. Can't run your infrastructure, and it can't run your education. Sucks. Okay, we can always type in indoctrination. There's this little ditty to look at. I've posted in other videos as well. But anyways, let's continue.
Tax-exempt homes. As our infrastructure crumbles and our science standards fall behind, 4,000 new tax-exempt churches spring up in America.
Tax-exempt churches! Oh my god! It's so bad that churches don't get robbed by gunpoint by the state. I wish you didn't have to be a church to be tax-exempt. I wish you could just be a person and be tax-exempt. I mean, taxation is theft, so why should only, churches not have to be exposed to this theft? I mean, really. He's like, oh, tax-exempt churches, they teach God, and, they don't have to pay taxes, they don't have to pay their fair share. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's good that at least some people escape taxation.
Every year, not for the Tooth Fairy, but for this so-called God, there's hundreds of thousands of them, outnumbering schools, stores, restaurants, museums. These churches fill my neighbors' heads with notions of God.
Yeah, so what? There are a lot of churches. Big fucking deal.
A God who's everywhere all at once, but they have to go to the church to give him money.
Which is completely voluntary. It's voluntary to be a Christian, go to church, donate, blah blah blah. What's the problem here?
And then they come knocking on my door with their book, waking me up every weekend, not to tell me about the Tooth Fairy, but to tell me about God, to tell me how broken and unworthy I am. If all this were done in the name of the Tooth Fairy, might you have something to say about it? The book of this supposed...
maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe, you know, no matter how ridiculous religious beliefs can be, I just let people believe what they believe. I don't need to be so outspoken against it. You know?
God is the best-selling book of all time, not because people want to read it, but because it gets pushed upon everybody.
People really do believe in the Bible. It's not necessarily indoctrination to believe what the Bible has to say.
Every pew.
Oh yeah, it's a church, of course you're gonna have the Bible.
Shoved in every hotel room drawer, given freely to children, grasped in the
Oh no, free books for children that you don't have to take if you don't want to. Oh my god. Oh, they're about God, that makes me suck. Oh my god.
sweaty grip of every preacher on the street corner with his bullhorn, waxing poetic about my impending torture. There it is, written by people no different than you, telling us how and what to believe. And they're not talking about the Tooth Fairy, but if they were, might you have something to say about it?
You know what, I would probably just ignore them, you know. Tooth Fairy or God or not, I'd probably just ignore them. You know what you have the option to do unless they get violent. Just saying. Just saying.
You say America was built upon Christian values, not Tooth Fairy values. And few politicians are considered electable without an obligatory God bless America.
Yeah, exactly. Politicians, rulers, the ruling class, the elite. Those are the people you need to worry about. darkmatter252525. Not, oh, they believe in God, teach about God, preachers, they teach people about God. Oh my god, so bad, so indoctrinating, so influential, so whining. Oh my god. Hello. Politicians are the ones that write the damn laws. And cops are the ones that use the damn force. I think those people are worth worrying about so much more than just, oh, he teaches about Jesus.
No different than it appears upon countless billboards and bumper stickers placating the masses who need you to be like them.
Uh-huh. And I have the choice not to be like them.
Unlike Tooth Fairies.
The Tooth Fairies are right.
Our lives are governed by these politicians who...
Yeah, exactly. Our lives are governed by these politicians. Politicians are the problem. You know, anything religious related that government's forcing on you, government's the problem. Blaming government for forcing religion on you is like blaming someone for making, like blaming chocolate for someone making you eat it. It's not the thing that's being forced upon you blame, it's the forcer. Okay, chocolate's not really doing anything, okay? It's the person forcing me to eat that's the problem. Same with religion. It's not religion that's the problem, it's the government that makes you, you know, take part in it or be a part of it or have it influence you. That's the problem, you know, this big fucking capital up here, that's the problem. This, you know, going backtracking a bit, this big, hold on. I should be able to do this, it's video scribble. We got a video scribble right here.
Tooth Fairy.
This big honking capital is what's the problem.
Considered
The government, the rulers, that's the problem.
without an obligatory...
Oh my god. So, if government's forcing religion on you, why is it reasonable to blame the religion and not the government that's forcing upon you? Or blame the religion and the government, which is somewhat reasonable because blame the government, but still, I put 100% of the blame on the damn politicians, on the damn government, than just, oh, they make us do Christianity. I mean, come on. Sorry for the damn interruptions. Our video cut off. Then the phone rang. Oh my god.
Policies are dictated by the God-believing majority, not the...
Oh my god, it doesn't matter what the majority believes in. The fact that there even exists an organization that can be controlled by people to control other people is a problem. How about we just get rid of said shitty organization so it doesn't matter what the heck anyone believes in, they can't use it to control other people. How about that? What a concept.
Tooth fairy believing majority, but if it were, might you have something to say about it?
I have something to say about it right now. Government sucks shit. Shouldn't have it. Make it go away. Free market. Non-aggression principle. Tooth fairy or whatever. If something's controlling me, I'm gonna blame the thing that's controlling me as opposed to God.
Because these politicians profess to believe in the same good and just God as you, of course we would expect them to behave most ethically. But do they? Of course not. Despite that, it's the non-believers who aren't trusted. Maybe that's because of the slander spread about us from self-proclaimed fair and balanced news.
Okay, well, why don't you blame the media and the government instead of whatever the voters believe in? In fact, instead of focusing on the fact that the voters believe in God, why don't you just focus on the fact that they're voters and that they can appeal to this violent monopoly on force called government, and that we should take out the government rather than, oh, let's convince people not to believe in God. Let's convince everyone to be atheists, you know, yeah. That's not gonna do shit. You need to get rid of the ability to control your neighbor. You know, not, you know, just trying to get your neighbor not to believe in a certain thing, which may or may not play a role in, you know, government.
All the way to the Book of Romans, the propaganda of ages past, which they parrot often without thought or empathy. Or maybe it's because we dare to object. Is that really so outlandish?
You know, the Romans had a government, blood government. I think that'd be more concerned than, oh, they started teaching about Jesus Christ.
After all, if the situation were reversed, might you have something to say about it? Now, I could give...
Like what? If they started making you not believe in God? There's this, state atheism, what I just showed you, or I believe I just showed you if the recording didn't cut off at that part. Okay.
Countless examples of impositions that might cause me to talk about a God I don't believe in, but in the end, what if it simply interests me, as it did Epicurus, who lived centuries before Jesus? Not to mention the countless skeptic saints who actually played a part in shaping the God you believe in, through the desperate rebuttals they received.
Okay. Not really that important.
Now, I know I'm not oppressed. I'm no victim. Maybe that's because I choose not to be.
Aren't you a victim to the state? You know, makes you pay taxes, throws you in jail for a plant, makes you go to school if you're a certain age, if you're a minor, makes you pay for war, police brutality. I'd say you are a victim, not to God, but, you know, to the state.
But as I see many Christians crying about their persecution simply because they can't be the even greater imposition they want to be, I can't help but shake my head and wonder how in the world they would cope with an extra mile in my shoes. Believer, I don't talk about God because I know He exists. I talk about God because I know you exist.
I want you inside me.
Blooper reel, I guess.
Okay. Can you do me a favor?
Okay, that first intro was kind of funny, but seriously, this guy is just like a statheist, you know, he believes in the God of the state. I mean, yeah, you can argue government is a religion with an exception. Religion typically is just what you think it all means, whereas government is, I want to use force to control my neighbor. well, where does considering government and religion come in? Well, let's see. God is considered omnipotent, and the government's considered omnipotent, and Christianity has all these churches and stuff, and government has all these schools which preach the government. Christianity has churches that preach, Christianity, and the politicians can be thought of as the clergy of government, and the government itself can be considered a god, not just your religion, but even the god of said religion itself. And the capitals and the schools are like the churches, so yeah, government can be considered religion, with one exception. It's force. The religion itself is force, not just some extremist groups make you believe in it. No, this very religion itself is the force. You see, you can practice religion peacefully, but you can't do the same for government. You can go to church voluntarily and stuff. Yeah, pray to Jesus and stuff, but you can't vote and consider that a voluntary action. Yeah, you can choose not to vote, in the US at least. But the actions of your voting, that's most certainly not voluntary. I didn't consent to having these voters decide which ruler I must pay to rule over me, to violate me. That's not consensual. While going to the voting booth is consensual, what the result of doing so is not. So, as for me, I'm an atheist, not an anti-theist, though. I don't go, oh, God, how cringy is that? No, I don't do that, and I'm also an anarchist. I'm an agorist, if you want a less charged synonym to call it. Some people mistake anarchy for Antifa, even though they're not anarchists or communists, which is a government. And I believe in free markets, they don't. I'm not a statheist. I'm not an anti-theist, and I'm not a statheist. I don't act like it's so cringy about, people believe in God that I act like I really need to oppose that every turn. Like, oh my God, you got all these Christians, they should be atheists. Or you got all these Muslims, they should be atheists. Or you got all these Jews, they should be atheists. Or everyone should be atheists. Nobody should have a religion. I'm not like that. I'm also not a statheist because, well, I'm an agorist. No, government isn't legitimate, It can do bad things. It does do bad things. In fact, it does bad things just by existing. It doesn't work inherently. It's harmful. Government can be minimal, but it'll still violate you to a degree because it's monopoly and violence. It's monopoly and violence. You don't choose these rulers exactly, and you gotta follow them. So anarchy is still violence. I don't advocate for that. I used to, but now I just advocate for anarchy, no government. So yeah, I kind of a lack of introduction. So I'll say what I should have said back then. Now, darkmatter2525. I don't know why I have trouble with the last four characters / digits of his username. This guy that makes atheist animations. Like, you click here. You click here, and then you see the intro to his channel, and oh God, and then he makes him look silly. He has this,
The icky gay people.
he has this Hitler in a tutu, and then he has this angel Jeffrey, I think his name is, that is more logical than God, and kind of ironic, and you got this and that, and this and that, and this, and Jesus meets the right, and extremists, and got guns, and you got this where is it? I know it's here somewhere. You got this, damn it. I had to have passed it. Oh, you got this really stupid animation he has about God isn't allowed in schools, and, this is frowned upon in schools, yet this isn't the guns, and, it's absolute straw man, and it supports gun control. It's like, oh my God, I might do this video later. It's just really dumb, but I'm sorry. This guy's just really misguided. I know he doesn't want people to be indoctrinated, but the way he goes about is just so nauseating. I mean, I get it. God isn't real. It can be delusional to believe in him. But to act like that's the problem as opposed to the all-loving, omnipotent state, you know, it's just so, you know, it's such a distraction or something, or it's misled. It just, yeah. Just focus on the government, you know, being the real bad guy rather than, oh, religion, oh, people believe in God, da 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 da. So, yeah, maybe this video's gone for longer than it should have. But I've had interruptions. I try to be concise in what I say, sometimes I end up doing the opposite. So, you know, whatever. Bye.